She was very brilliant and God-fearing until she met bad friends in high school and was introduced to Hookup. In the quiet village of Obwesai lived a young girl named Adwoa Serwaa. From childhood, she was admired for her intelligence and deep reverence for God. Every dawn, while the roosters crowed, Adwoa would help her mother fetch water before preparing for school. At the village chapel, she was always at the front row, singing hymns with a pure voice that melted hearts. Her parents, proud farmers, often said, "Adwoa will bring light to this family." Indeed, she was the hope of her household, destined to break the chains of poverty. Adwoa's brilliance opened doors for her. When she passed her junior school exams with distinction, she earned admission into one of the finest senior high schools in the city. The whole village celebrated her achievement. On the day of her departure, her father gave her these words, "My daughter, never forget who you are. Keep your faith and do not follow bad company." Adwoa nodded with humility, unaware that those words would soon become a shield she desperately needed. The city was nothing like Obwesai. Bright lights, endless noise, and people rushing everywhere. For Adwoa, it was overwhelming but exciting. At the boarding school, she quickly became popular for her sharp answers in class and her graceful beauty. Teachers loved her diligence, and some classmates admired her simplicity. But in every crowd, there are wolves in sheep's clothing. Among her new acquaintances were two girls, Adwoa and Adwoa, flashy and full of stories about enjoying life. They had the latest phones, the prettiest clothes, and money that never seemed to finish. At first, Adwoa avoided them. She remembered her father's warning. But Adwoa and Adwoa were relentless. They mocked her modest dresses, her worn-out sandals, and even her refusal to attend weekend parties. "Adwoa, life is too short to suffer," Adwoa would say with a mischievous smile. "Boys are ready to spend on pretty girls like us. Just one hookup, and you'll have everything you need." Adwoa laughed it off at first. But soon, the pressure of fitting in, the taste of city life, and the whispers of envy started eating at her heart. One Friday evening, Adwoa invited Adwoa to a party outside campus. "Just come and chill, no harm," she said. Against her better judgment, Adwoa agreed. The party was filled with music, drinks, and strange faces. That night, she met a man twice her age, dressed in gold chains and driving a sleek car. He offered her gifts and sweet words, things she had never experienced before. The following week, Adwoa skipped evening prayers and went out again. Slowly, the brilliant, God-fearing girl from Obwesai began to change. Adwoa's grades began to drop. She no longer sat in the front row during classes or sang in the chapel choir. Instead, she spent nights sneaking out to meet men introduced by her new friends. Money flowed like water. She bought expensive clothes, makeup, and even a smartphone better than her teachers. Other girls envied her new life, but deep inside, Adwoa was restless. Each time she opened her Bible, guilt stabbed her heart like a sharp knife, yet she ignored it. One day, Adwoa fell terribly ill. She had been coughing for weeks but thought it was nothing. At the hospital, the doctor delivered the news that broke her world: she had contracted a deadly disease. The men who had once showered her with gifts vanished like smoke. Her so-called friends mocked her and moved on. Alone in her dormitory bed, Adwoa wept bitter tears. She remembered her father's words and wished she could turn back time. When the term ended, Adwoa returned to Obwesai, but not as the shining star she once was. Her parents noticed the sadness in her eyes and the weakness in her body. Her mother cried when she discovered the truth. Adwoa confessed everything, sobbing at her mother's feet. Her father, though heartbroken, held her and said, "The prodigal child has returned, but oh, the scars remain." They prayed for her every day, but her health never returned to what it once was. Months later, the village elders called a meeting for all young girls. Adwoa, now frail but wiser, stood before them and told her story. Her voice trembled, but her words were sharp as arrows. Bad friends are like termites, they will eat away your future if you let them. Stay close to God, for the world's pleasures are like honey on a blade, sweet but deadly. Her testimony shook the village, and many vowed never to walk her path. Adwoa's tale spread beyond Obuasi, a warning carved into the hearts of parents and children alike. The elders summed it up with an Akan proverb. If you do not belong to the bird's world, do not dip your hands in its affairs. In life, one wrong step can destroy years of hard work. Choose your friends wisely, for they can either lead you to greatness or to ruin. Moral lessons. Bad company corrupts good character. The love of money can destroy your destiny. Stay grounded in your values, no matter where life takes you. One mistake can cost a lifetime of regret.